What's up everybody, it's Wyvern here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Lapras in the Catacomb Cup. Now Lapras is currently ranked number 10 on PvPoke. Its losses are going to be Sudowoodo, Umbreon, Zweilous, Breloom, Alolan Golem and Graveler, Pinsir, along with any Pokemon running Razor Leaf. Now its prominent wins include Venusaur, Beedrill, Vespiquen, Drapion, and Frostlass. Now I know that doesn't sound too much, but as you'll see in the footage that will follow, it actually is very easily able to turn a number of its losses into wins in a lot of different scenarios. Even with that being said, it still wins 73% of its battles. Let's talk a bit about moveset. PvPoke recommends Ice Shard in the preset rankings, but has Water Gun as a higher usage. I assume that's just because Ice Shard is legacy and not everyone has access to it. I personally haven't tested the Water Gun variant, but it would likely perform better against some of its losses like Sudowoodo and Graveler. Personally, I run Ice Shard on it. Now, as for charge moves, Surf is an absolute must. It is able to beat some of its losses like Sudowoodo and Graveler, like I just mentioned, and it's a pretty low energy move with that same type of attack bonus, so you absolutely have to have Surf on it. Now, as for the second move, PvPoke recommends Skull Bash, but Legacy Ice Beam has twice the usage, so that one's kind of a toss-up. Either is a good option, but Ice Beam gives more coverage in most other matchups, while Skull Bash is going to be better for the mirror match, and it does give a nice defense boost. I personally run Ice Beam and haven't tested the Skull Bash variant too much outside of the training feature on PvPoke, just because I don't want to TM away my Legacy Ice Beam move. So my Lapras that you'll see in today's videos is going to be running Legacy Ice Shard along with Legacy Ice Beam and Surf. So let's hop on into the footage and see how Lapras does in the Catacomb Cup. These battles will once again be against Wizap7. His channel will once again be linked down in the description. Match 1, we're going to lead with Venusaur, and we catch that Pinsir lead. So at the time, I didn't know this is actually a win for Venusaur. I just saw Bug type versus Grass type and figured I should probably bail out of there. So we're going to charge up a bit of energy and go for Amistar. Now Amistar, honestly not that great in the Catacomb Cup. It's just one I was kind of testing to see how it did. We're going to go for that Ancient Power, try and get that nice boost. Unfortunately, I don't have a Legacy Amistar, which is what's recommended on PvPoke with that Rock Slide. We are going to get that shield out of him though, so that's nice. We're going to decide whether or not to shield this, and I'm thinking it's going to be a shield bait with the X-Scissor, so we don't. But it does end up being that close combat, so the Amistar is going to go down. Now that Pinsir's defense did drop, but he can bail anytime and that stat boost will go away. That's what he's going to go ahead and do and come in with the Alolan Graveler. So that's very bad for the Lapras. That's probably the top counter for it with that Volt Switch and those rock moves. If you watch my Alolan Graveler video, you know that it absolutely destroys Lapras. But there is one of those scenarios where Lapras is actually able to beat it. Landing one Surf on it is pretty much able to knock it out, and then you're just able to farm it down with those Ice Shards. We do need a shield here. Just because that would do a solid chunk of damage to Lapras. So we do need a shield, but regardless, the Alolan Graveler goes down, and the Lapras has energy on it. Now we're going to wait and see what comes in. Not going to go straight for that Surf. Ends up being a Sudowoodo, and now we will go for that Surf. And I believe he doesn't shield this one either. We'll need to see for certain. Yeah, so he's not going to shield that. So this is another scenario where Lapras is able to flip one of its losses into a win. So Lapras there going up against two of its top counters in Alolan Graveler and Sudowoodo, and almost single-handedly taking out both of them. We are going to decide to shield that just because I'm not sure whether or not it's an Earthquake. He's going to come back in with the Pinsir, and we're going to shield bait with the Frenzy Plant. Obviously, Sludge Bomb, the move you want to go for here, but I believe it's one less Vine Whip for a Frenzy Plant, so we are going to get that shield out of him here. Now, I know he's going to have energy on it, so we're just going to try and go for another Frenzy Plant at this point, just to try and finish him off. He comes in with that X-Scissor, which does a decent chunk of damage to Venusaur, but it's not going to take us out by any means. But yeah, we just go straight for that X-Scissor, the Frenzy Plant there. He does beat us on the CMP though, so that Pinsir able to take down the Venusaur. We're going to come in with the Lapras and try and go straight for Surf, and he beats us on CMP again. So even if we had gotten that off, he still had the Sudowoodo in the back. But so no promises we would have won, but it still sucks to lose to the Pinsir on CMP like that. Match 2, we're going to take a bit of a gamble. We're going to lead with Lapras, and we're actually running a Double Dark Ice team. So we have Lapras, and in the back we have Zweilous and Umbreon. So if he has that Sudowoodo, it is going to be pretty dangerous for us, but I'm still confident in my ability to navigate around that matchup and kind of see what this team was able to work. The Zweilous, I know we don't need to shield this first one. I know he didn't get up to a Dark Pulse. Body Slam, just kind of chunking away at our health, same as Dragon Breath. We're going to overcharge a bit here, and then just go straight for that Ice Beam. We're going to hope he doesn't shield it. Obviously, Ice Beam hitting that Zweilous super effective, and it would just be able to take it down right away. And that is exactly what happens. Now, in that range, a Surf might have knocked it out as well, but regardless, it is down, and now we're going to go for the Surf on the Sudowoodo. Now, unlike the last match, I believe he is going to shield this one, but regardless, the Lapras is able to get a shield out of him before it goes down. And now at this point, he's just able to farm it down with those counters, not able to get to another Surf. We're going to see what we want to come in with here. It ends up being the Zweilous, just because I'm more confident in that Dragon Breath damage kind of chunking away at that Sudowoodo, and we do know we need to shield here. We have to keep this Zweilous alive because this is a very bad matchup for us, and this Sudowoodo is dangerous to our entire team. So we're going to overcharge a bit here, make him think that we might be able to get to a Dark Pulse, and you saw we tried to tap on that Body Slam, but he beat us on the CMP. So we're going to shield this once again. Absolutely have to keep that Zweilous alive. Now he's going to switch out, so we're going to go into our Umbreon, and Umbreon versus Frostlass is an absolutely amazing matchup for us. This is one we could probably almost farm down, but that avalanche damage would start to stack up, so we're going to charge up as much energy as we can before taking this one down. So you see, we do have that Foul Play charged up, but we're going to overcharge a little bit. Obviously, the right play here. He does have a shield that we're still going to need to get out of him at some point, and assuming he's just going to let this Lapras go down, he will likely use that shield on the Sudowoodo. So now we have 2 Foul Plays stored up. We're going to go ahead and throw that first one before he's able to get to another Avalanche, and that would knock out the Umbreon. So he does let the Frostlass go down, just like I presumed. And now the Foul Play being thrown at the Sudowoodo will likely get the shield out of him here. And remember, we do have a Dark Pulse stored up on the Zweilous as well. So once this Umbreon goes down, not able to get to another Foul Play there, that's fine because we have the Dark Pulse here. And we're just going to go straight for that. I couldn't remember which side it was on, honestly, which is why I didn't go for it right away. A little bit embarrassing there, but regardless, we are able to take out that Sudowoodo and win the match. Final match, we're going to lead with Venusaur. He's going to lead with Frostlass. And now this might seem like a bad matchup for us. It technically is, but Frenzy Plant deals about 2/3, maybe a little bit more health to Frostlass. It's a very fragile Pokemon. Frenzy Plant, a very powerful move, and getting that same type attack bonus from Venusaur. So we're just going to go straight for that Frenzy Plant. We are going to stay in this matchup as long as Wazap does. We're going to try and match him shield for shield and try and take down this Frostlass without giving up switch priority. Now we're going to get an Avalanche coming in here, and we know this is one we do need to shield, because that would take out the Venusaur in this range. It's a pretty strong move, and it does get that same type attack bonus from Frostlass. We're going to try and go once again for another Frenzy Plant, but it seems he overcharged before the first Avalanche, and now he's able to get to that before we're able to get to our Frenzy Plant. So we are going to throw another shield at him here, just because we have a Frenzy Plant charged up, and I know that will be able to either take out this Frostlass at this range, or it will get that last shield out of him, which I believe it ends up doing. It does. So now knowing that we're not going to be able to get to another Frenzy Plant before he gets to a Avalanche, we're going to try and switch out to catch that move, but we actually switch out at the same time. And we get the Lapras versus Pinsir. We're going to overcharge a bit and then try and go for a Surf. Probably should have gone for the Surf straight away before he was able to get a close combat off, but it is able to almost take out that Lapras. But now that the Pinsir's defense has been lowered from that close combat, the Surf will knock it out. It will deal a solid chunk of damage there as it goes down, and we're going to wait and see what comes back in. It ends up being the Frostlass, so he is just going to try and farm us down, but that Powder Snow not hitting that Lapras very effective. It's double resisted, so even at that minute amount of health, we're able to get to another Surf and knock out that Frostlass before another Pokemon comes in, or before he's able to get to that Avalanche. Now the Alolan Graveler does come in and finish off the Lapras. We're going to let that switch timer tick down just a little bit before we come in with the Frenzy Plant, and I believe this will be enough to finish off that Alolan Graveler. I don't know why I bothered letting that switch timer tick down, but regardless, it is able to win us the match. So Lapras is definitely a very tanky, very strong Pokemon, and it's able to win a lot of matchups in the Catacomb Cup. As you saw there, it's able to flip a lot of its losses and able to deal a solid chunk of damage with that Surf. Let me know in the comments below if you've been using Lapras in the Catacomb Cup, which moveset you're using, and what kind of success you've had with it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more Silph Cup and other PvP content. And until next time, guys, I'm Wyvern.